How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I really wanted to take some time actually to talk to you, and I wanted to commend you. You have been doing so good. I have seen you spiritually progress and be consistent with your studies, and be consistent with your meeting attendance, and now with your newfound ministry. So I just wanted to take a little time to appreciate you and tell you that I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. The truth is, I've actually been feeling a little bit down lately.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Why is that?
Well, it's just that there's all these married brothers and sisters having hospitality in their homes, and I see them pioneering, and I wonder, is what I'm doing really enough? I work full time to support myself. I have back and neck problems that sometimes hold me back. I'm not baptized, and I wonder, how can I contribute?
Well, that can really weigh on your shoulders. That can be really tough, and I'm so sorry you've been feeling that way, but I'm very happy that you talked to me about it and shared your feelings. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share with you an account in the Bible that kind of reminds me of this. It's actually about a single sister as well. She was actually surrounded by a lot of evangelizers and disciples that traveled to distant lands and were able to accomplish these big ministries. But she was more localized in a congregation, and she was able to abound in good works as well. And what we can find out from the Bible is, how did Jehovah feel about her? Okay, so if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, that sounds nice.
Okay, so let's turn to Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 9 and 36 through 39. We're going to have you read that. But before, I wanted to kind of preface this. So between 32 to 36, it's talking about Peter and how he was performing miracles in the land of Lydda. And what he was able to do is he miraculously healed a man that was paralyzed. And so people had heard about that in a nearby land called Joppa. And we're going to get into that account now.
Okay. So I'll read Acts 9:36 through 39. Now there was in Joppa a disciple named Tabitha, which means, when translated, Dorcas. She abounded in good deeds and gifts of mercy that she was making. But in those days she fell sick and died. So they bathed her and laid her in an upper room. Since Lydda was near Joppa, when the disciples heard that Peter was in that city, they sent two men to him to urge him, "Please come to us without delay." At that, Peter got up and went with them. And when he arrived, they led him up into the upper room, and all the widows presented themselves to him, weeping and showing many garments and robes, and Dorcas had made while she was with them.
So do you see how the widows in this account were reacting when Dorcas had died?
Yeah, it seems they were sad and they were weeping. They obviously loved her, and they were thankful for all the help she had given them, especially the clothing she made.
Yes, you're right. And actually, if you note in verses 36, it was talking about Dorcas specifically and saying that she abounded in good deeds or works. And one definition of abounded is to overflow. So it could be said that she overflowed with these good works. Let's read on and let's see how Jehovah responded to such a woman. And if you don't mind, I'll read 40 through 42. It says, "Peter then put everyone outside, and kneeling down, he prayed. Then turning toward the body, he said, 'Tabitha, rise.' She opened her eyes, and as she caught sight of Peter, she sat up. Giving her his hand, he raised her up, and he called the holy ones and the widows and presented her alive. This became known throughout all of Joppa, and many became believers in the Lord."
Whoa, so Jehovah gave Peter the power to resurrect her for the congregation?
Yeah, he did. So, in review of this account, let's kind of sum up what we've learned. 1, this was a female disciple of Jehovah. 2, she was likely single and had to provide for herself. They don't mention a husband weeping and mourning over her. 3, she wasn't out traveling like her contemporaries and doing these big ministries like Peter or Paul or Timothy. However, number 4, she abounded and overflowed in good works towards her fellow Christians in need. And lastly, 5, did you notice Jehovah loved her and valued her service so much that he resurrected her through Peter and returned her to her loved ones in the congregation. Then he had this account put in the Bible for us to enjoy. So, do you have any ideas, Nicole, of ways that are within your ability that you can show Christian love and good works like Dorcas in our congregation?
Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of single sisters in our congregation, and there's also widows, and I could really take an interest and get to know some of them. Maybe we can all encourage one another, and I can find ways to show genuine interest in them individually. Maybe a card or a cup of tea, or just a nice warm conversation and a listening ear.
That sounds wonderful. And those are pretty achievable goals. So how do you feel now about your contributions and those in the future?
I think they're valued, and I feel like if I apply this account, I can actually make a difference in our congregation, and Jehovah will take notice like he did with Dorcas.
Okay, well, you are amazing, and I think we're ready to get into this day.
Thank you, Sister Harrington and Sister Farva. It's her first talk in the school, and did very well. Sister Harrington, you were working on point number 11, warmth and feeling. And the B book helps us to appreciate that it's essential to reach the hearts of those that you're listening to. When she expressed the feelings that she had towards you, you were able to respond to her. Notice what it says here. It says, warmth should also be evident in your voice. It says if you have a hard voice, which you don't, like us brothers do, it says it might be difficult to express warmth in your speech, but with time and conscious effort, you can. And one thing that might help from a purely mechanical standpoint is to remember that short, clipped sounds make speech hard. So you weren't doing that, but that's something that us brothers have to be careful with. It says that a spirited delivery is stimulating, but a tender feeling is also needed. And it's not always enough for us to persuade the mind. We must also move the heart. We were able to see that with your presentation. You were able to persuade her and have that nice delivery for her. So we appreciate that nice work, Sister Harrington and Sister Fala. Continue with our Theocratic Ministry School.